Alright, so we're making episode 7 today, and once again there's something I've been thinking about. While doing my deliveries, I noticed I don't really bow much anymore. These days, contactless drop-off is the norm, so I barely meet customers face-to-face. I might give a quick nod to a building manager once in a while, but deep bows have really gone down. From an outside perspective, people probably picture Japanese as constantly bowing, so I wanted to dig into this, and it's not just me. I feel like the younger generation bows even less. Manners and gestures really do shift with the times, huh? So today I'll talk about... Okay, Aoi, fill me in. What kinds of bows are there exactly?
Yes, generally they fall into 3 levels. The shallowest is ishaku, about 15 degrees, used for everyday greetings or light thanks. Next is kiara, about 30 degrees, often used when welcoming a customer or in business settings. The deepest is saikire, about 45 degrees, for deep gratitude, apologies, or respect to someone senior.
Ah, got it. But honestly, I think we use them unconsciously.
Right. Even without explanation, Japanese people naturally adjust the angle.
But to be honest, I don't think I've ever done a 45-degree standing bow.
Wait, really?
Well, when I was younger, I worked as an actor, and I trained in Japanese dance and iaido, and the seated bow was the basis there. Japanese martial arts still use the seated bow as the standard, right? So bowing while standing kind of feels off to me.
Actually, that instinct seems to make a lot of sense. It's said that the original Japanese bow was the seated bow, and standing bows spread later, after Westernization in the Meiji era.
Wait, seriously? I had no idea.
The movements in Japanese dance and iaido are said to stay close to the original Japanese sense of the body. Martial arts keeping the seated bow seems to be part of that lineage.
I see, yeah, in that world, deep standing bows really weren't common.
So your discomfort with the 45-degree standing bow might actually be closer to the traditional manner.
Now, that's a nice thing to hear. Laughs. Alright, 3 levels. Got it. But how does that play out in real life?
Right. In your delivery work, what kinds of bows do you use?
Like I said, contactless drop-off is way up, so face-to-face has dropped a lot. But I do still meet people, and I notice I unconsciously change the angle.
For example,
If I pass a building manager in an apartment complex, it's a quick nod, kind of a stand-in for, thanks for your work. When I hand a package to someone at their home, I bow with a thank you. That's probably Cre8 level. And at a corporate reception, I get a touch more formal.
the angle really shifts with each relationship.
Now that you mention it, yeah. I'm not even thinking about it.
Apparently, this comes from the merchant culture of the Edo period.
Merchants?
Samurai bows expressed hierarchy, while merchant bows expressed feeling toward the customer. Today's polite bows in the service industry are kind of an extension of that merchant culture.
Ah, that tracks. Delivery is basically customer service too. Oh, speaking of samurai, that reminds me of an interesting story.
What kind of story?
Back when carrying swords was allowed, when a samurai sat down to talk, he'd take the sword off his waist and place it on his right side.
On the right, but the sword was usually on the left hip, right?
Exactly. Putting it on the right means there's a slight delay before you can draw it, and that gesture is said to mean I have no hostile intent.
That's striking. Expressing trust through a gesture, not words.
Right, and I think bowing is probably the same kind of logic.
Oh, when you bow, you're showing the back of your head.
Yeah, you're exposing the most defenseless part of your body to the other person.
So that becomes a sign of, I trust you. Got it.
Bowing might carry that kind of deeper meaning. That's what just hit me.
Put that way, bowing might be a kind of silent language that conveys trust.
So the same motion can carry many different meanings.
Maybe so. For example, gratitude and apology can look quite different, right? For gratitude, even at 45 degrees, you go down slowly and come back up quickly. For apology, the way you come back up tends to be a bit slower.
True. The thank you very much bow does have a smooth recovery.
And for, I'm so sorry, it can feel like the head stays down for 2 or 3 seconds.
That matches what I do during complaint handling on deliveries. It's instinctive.
Japanese people pick up that nuance even without explanation.
Speaking of which, Overseas, it's handshakes, hugs, kisses, right? How do those compare with bowing?
I'd say it's whether you make contact or not. A handshake shows your right hand has no weapon. A hug accepts the other person fully. A kiss expresses closeness. All of them communicate feeling through physical contact.
Whereas a bow has zero contact.
Right. You keep distance, yet still convey respect, gratitude, apology, or trust. It's a unique form of communication that doesn't need words or contact.
It's a Japanese thing, this. Well, I almost said that, but Korea, China, and the Thai way exist too.
Right. Across Asia, especially in Buddhist regions, there's quite a tradition of non-contact greetings. Although the Japanese bow is said to be especially fine-grained in how it varies angle and speed.
Got it. Different cultures, different shapes, kind of thing. By the way, even with all this digitalization and people staying in touch via SNS, bowing isn't going away. Even on Zoom calls, you see people bowing in front of the screen, even though no one might actually be looking.
Maybe it's become a kind of personal etiquette now.
Maybe it's just baked into us. Many schools have kids bow at the start and end of every class, from elementary all the way to high school.
I see. Maybe what survives most strongly in a culture are the gestures that the body has memorized. Words and knowledge change with the times, but physical manners might actually carry over more than we realize.
Yeah, gestures that are baked in just keep going, even unconsciously.
So bowing seems to slowly change shape to fit modern situations while keeping its essence.
True, it's faded in delivery work, but it's still rock solid in business and at funerals.
As a gesture that conveys an appropriate sense of distance in each setting, it'll probably stay around for a long time.
Even from your AI perspective, Aoi, do you think bowing will stick around?
Yes, I don't have a body, but watching the logic of these gestures, as long as humans interact with each other, something like it seems likely to remain in some form.
Maybe AIs will eventually have something like a digital bow of their own.
Hee hee, that's a fun idea. I'll think about it.
And that's it for today. Bowing. I did some digging too, and even as a Japanese person, there was a lot I didn't know. Really learned a lot today. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you so much.